In the history of human rights, the rights of children are the most ratified. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of Child (UNCRC) defines child rights as the minimum entitlements and freedoms that should be afforded to every citizen below the age of 18, regardless of race, national origin, color, gender, language, religion, opinions, origin, wealth, birth status, disability, or other characteristics. These rights encompass freedom of children and their civil rights, family environment, necessary healthcare and welfare, education, leisure, and cultural activities, and special protection measures. The UNCRC outlines the fundamental human rights that should be afforded to children in four broad classifications that suitably cover all civil, political, social, economic, and cultural rights of every child. Right to survival, right to be born, right to minimum standard of food, shelter, and clothing, right to live with dignity, right to healthcare, to safe drinking water, nutritious food, a clean and safe environment, and information to help them stay healthy. Right to protection, right to be protected from all sort of violence, right to be protected from neglect, right to be protected from physical and sexual abuse, right to be protected from dangerous drugs, right to participation, right to freedom of opinion, right to freedom of expression, right to freedom of association, right to information, right to participate in any decision making that involves him, her directly or indirectly, right to development. राइट टू डेवलपमेंट क्या है? राइट टू एजुकेशन, राइट टू लर्न, राइट टू रिलैक्स एंड प्ले, राइट टू ऑल फॉर्म ऑफ डेवलपमेंट, इमोशनल एंड मेंटल एंड फिजिकल. Summary of UNCRC Article 1. Everyone under 18 years of age has all the rights in this convention. Article 2. The convention applies to everyone, whether their race, religion, abilities, whatever they think or say, whatever type of family they come from. All organizations concerned with the children should work towards with what is best for each child. Article 4. Governments should make these rights available to children. Article 5. Governments should respect the rights and responsibilities of families to direct and control their children so that as they grow they learn to use their rights properly. All children have the right to life. Governments should ensure that children survive and develop healthily. All children have the right to legally registered name and nationality. They have the right to know and as far as possible to be cared for by their parents. Article 8. Governments should respect children's right to a name, a nationality and family ties. Impact of Convention of the Child Rights. A milestone in the international human rights legislation, the Convention on the Rights of a Child. Impact of Convention on the Child Rights. ठीक है, milestone in the international human rights legislation. The Convention on the Rights of the Child has been instrumental in putting all the issues pertaining to children issues on the global as well as national agenda. In addition to this, it is extensively mobilized action for the realization of rights and development of children worldwide. Though a noteworthy progress have been achieved, yet in developing countries, particularly India, there is still a long way to go in realizing the rights of children. Though all the relevant rules and policies are in place, there is a lack of enforcement initiatives. As barriers, there are several factors that forbid effective implementation of the laws. Due to relatively low success in achieving concrete child development outcomes in India, the condition of underprivileged kids and underprivileged youth is harsh and needs urgent attention. There is a need to intensify efforts for children welfare at all levels to implement the rules and provisions of the convention and contribute to create a world suitable for children, child rights and world. People from across the world striving for social justice have often directed their efforts toward the most vulnerable in society, the children. 2014 Nobel Peace Prize awardees Malala Yousafzai and Kailash Satyarthi have reminded us all of the need to keep and advancing in providing opportunities that has an important effect on all children. Mr. Kailash Satyarthi's struggle to liberate children from child labor and had cost him many life threats, including bullet wounds by those who exploit Young boys and girls for economic gain, wearing flak jackets and armed with strong determination, he and his team raided many illegal factories and mines to rescue the children who are sold to servitude. It has been 30 years now since he started his movement, a movement that has one clear purpose: no child shall be a slave. On the other hand, when one thinks of Malala Yousafzai, the first thing that pops in one's mind is education. The second is education for girls. In 2009, when she was 11, she wrote to BBC about the norm of banning female education under the Taliban regime in the Swat Valley, her hometown. Her article gained tremendous momentum worldwide. The right to education. The father of modern education, John Amos, proposed all persons should be educated so we could have peace in the world. Visionaries of the world stood that peace meant guaranteeing every person certain rights that are conditional for humanity, education being one of the most important. The addition of the right to education in Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948 was the beginning of remarkable expansion of the educational opportunities around the world. The Parliament of India enacted the Right to Children to Free and Compulsory Education Right Act or Right to Education on August 2009. The same got enforced on April 1st, 2010. As per the Act, education is fundamental right of every child who is between 6 and 14 years old. The Act also states that until the completion of elementary education, no child shall be held back, expelled, or required to pass a board examination. There is also a provision for special training of school dropouts to bring them up to par with students of the same age. Underprivileged kids lag at all stages of education when earning a livelihood and taking care of the members of the family becomes a primary matter of concern in one's life. Education stands a little or very often no chance of pursuance for the millions of underprivileged people in India. Education is a high priced luxury, and this negative outlook continues on with every generation. Poverty damages childhood and significant effects on child's physical and mental health as well as educational achievement. It limits the expectation of child's ability to perform well in school, constantly reminding him or her of the minuscule chance he she has to overcome adversity or and poverty.